a lot of agents don't.
Well, I want to thank all three of you guys for being incredible leaders. You know, it takes a lot for that level of collaboration. That's the story to tell, by the way. When you want to help another agent understand why, what is this culture? What is it about this group, this organization, this collective that's special? You guys just demonstrated it. So thank you for that. All right, guys, we're going to dive in because I don't want to waste any time with our special guest this morning. We're really fortunate to have Mr. Anthony Chavez join us this morning. And for a lot of you, you may know Anthony is actually my coach. He's my mentor. He's my coach. I submit my ego to this man. And what's crazy is we're related to each other. So I mean, think about this. He's my cousin. Like, how hard is it to, submit your ego to anyone, let alone someone that you've grown up with side by side? But that's how incredible he is. Anthony is the co-founder of the Abundant Living Retreat and Azazi, which is an online personal development community. And Anthony, thank you again for joining us this morning, man.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yep.
This is going to be fun. So, I'm going to start with a little bit of background for those of you I have not had the chance to meet yet. I've been coaching since 2008. I got into this world. And back then, it wasn't called coaching, we were called personal development instructors. And so, for the last, almost 18 years, my focus has been to help people wake up to what's possible for themselves, for their lives, and for their communities. And so I'm already going to leave script and just double down on some of this communication that I heard in the beginning, that community and collaboration. Like, that is it. One of my favorite, it's not even a quote, it's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And as I get into my background, what I have experienced from different industries and companies is that where culture is strong, where people support each other, where people edify each other, where people talk about you when you're not in the room, that's where people actually win and have significant lives. And the cultures where people are pulling each other, where they're trying to be lone wolves, where they're believing the lie that they're alone, that's where people suffer. It's awesome. And then, as a side note, as you'll find out right now, I started teaching yoga in 2009. And the word yoga itself simply means relationship. It means to come together. So you're in the right spot to just hear that people are helping each other out and not trying to take from each other. That's always going to help you win.
And Anthony, if I may, I'm going to share with everyone just a little
Yeah.
context as we dive in. So, there's everyone needs a coach. Coaches need coaches, right?
I got it,
And
Joe.
yeah, thank you. And Anthony is really incredible in the sense that if anyone's stuck, if anyone feels like they're just, not hitting stride or, maybe in a hard or difficult or dark place, he's incredible. Where Anthony has really put the rocket boosters on like my success is actually when I was doing great. And then he was able to help me lean in and go, okay, now that we're doing awesome, let's not make this a peak. Let's make this the new floor. And so, for no matter where you're at right now, I want all of you guys to be ready to grab a pen and paper because what I love about that work that I've done with Anthony is that they're practical tools that help us navigate our life every single day. This isn't going to be some conversation like, oh, that was a really great talk, and I'm like motivated. This is an opportunity to like deep dive and learn in ways that you guys can take this moving forward literally this afternoon and in 4 or 5 months from now. So that's the preface of what we're about to dive into. I just wanted to share that before we
Joe, you're
go.
making this easy for me.
Thank you.
Yeah. The rules of engagement for the next 45 minutes are this: grab out a pen and paper, put your camera on, show up. Let's get engaged. I am not interested in giving a presentation. What I'm interested in is you growing your life, getting off the couch and rolling up your sleeves and getting your hands dirty. That's also, in full transparency, why I said yes to this group. And Joe knows, I was like, I want to spend my time with people who are actually winning, who are in the game, who are trying. I'm just not interested in spending an hour with people who are going to look at their life and complain. So thank you. So that's how today's going to go. I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to ask you to raise your hand, unmute. I will call you to the carpet in the most loving way. And then my goal is that at the end of this, you have some new tips, tools, and practices that you can deploy today, tonight, or for the rest of your life. Now, let me back all the way up, because as we do, we go all over the place. I take lots of field trips. So my background: coaching and teaching yoga since 2008. I have had the pleasure of building some of the biggest, three of the biggest yoga and fitness companies in the world. I was the director of leadership and yoga programming for Lifetime Athletic, which is a $2 billion company. So I took their program from where it was and took it to where it is today until we had a transaction. And then I held the position of director of mindful leadership and personal transformation for Core Power Yoga, taking them from 19 studios to over 200. And currently, my current favorite client is Yoga Box, where I am the director of leadership and performance. So all of these were consulting, client-facing roles. Through that, I work with professional athletes. I work with a lot of C-level executives, and then have other, call it smaller company clients that I work with. And then I still have a few one-on-one people that happen every now and then. I am 47 years old. I have 4 kids. I am a grandfather. I am an accomplished ultra endurance athlete. I've competed in Ironman. I have ran 50-mile races, and not only ran them, but won them. Because if you're going to do something, why wouldn't you do your best? And then what else? Long bike rides. I grew up playing baseball. I grew up in LA, in Orange County in the 80s and 90s, playing ball. Played in college, and then people gave me money afterwards a little bit until I started to find this and this purpose of my life. My wife, she's been teaching yoga for 12 years as well. And we currently live in Denver, Colorado. We've been here for almost 4 years now. And as Joe said earlier, I'm the co-founder of Azazi, and it is an online community where elite performers get together and share. That's enough about me. I'm sure more stories will come out as we go. But what I wanted to share with you all today was really this performance framework for living a life of significance in an elite fashion, because sometimes those two conversations run parallel, but they don't actually come together. And I'm of the belief that if we're going to do anything with our time, it might as well be meaningful. And then we might as well actually have a high level of performance. So let's dive in. Number one concept, number one gate is a word called clarity. Mm-hmm. And some of it's really, this first part I'll blow by because I believe that you all have it because you're on this call, but it's clarity of your dreams, clarity of your goals, clarity of your targets. Like, what are you chasing? Second, and this is where it gets a little bit more fun and where most people miss it, is clarity of how you want to feel, or I'm going to say it differently. How do you want to experience your life? Because we all have people in our life who are making all the money in the world that they want and are absolutely unhappy. We have people who are making all the money in the world that they want, and their body is falling apart and it's a hot mess. So approaching your dreams, your intentions from the question of how do you want to experience and or what feeling are you chasing is a great place to start for us. I know you already have fiscal goals and financial goals and transaction goals. So take a couple of moments, write your answer down, and I'll ask the question again. What feeling are you chasing? And or how do you want to experience the life that you're building? How do you want it to smell, taste, look? Raise your hand or unmute when you have an answer. Other than Joe, there are,
I've done this work a lot.
you have, and I got a lot of thumbs up about not being on the couch. And so here's your opportunity.
I'll participate.
Awesome. Let's go. What feeling are you
um,
chasing?
for me, I'm in a position where I've also been in fitness for before I can even remember. I think I'm coming up on like my 16th year of CrossFit. I have two kids. I've been a coach. I've been in and out of yoga. I'm at a position where I'm in my early 40s and I'm in my
Mhm.
best body I've ever had.
I
And my
love it.
husband is too. And we have two young, healthy kids. But we're not, I still wake up anxious in the middle of the night,
Mhm.
wondering, how am I going to get my credit card debt down? Where's my next deal coming from? And it was kind of what I was speaking to at the beginning of this call, which is why I'm putting my effort into the agent attraction so I can get to a point where I'm setting up residual income where if I don't have that deal or if I don't get a lot of transactions to coordinate next month, I know that while I'm sleeping, I'm still getting some residual income.
Mhm. Okay. So, Susie, number one, thank you for sharing. It's just
Sure.
funny. It's not even funny. It's when you pull back, and this is for everybody, and you look at, she's had some incredible wins. She raised her hand, first one to raise your hand and participate. There's just not a coincidence there. This is what I mean by showing up and getting your hands dirty. Okay, so Susie, back to you. How do you want to feel then? I heard that you don't want to be anxious. You don't want to wake up in the middle of the night, but what do you want to feel like? And I am speaking to an emotion, an emotional state. What are you chasing? Is it safety? Is it security? Is it happiness? Is it fulfillment? Give me some of those words.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's, my husband and I would like to get into our next house, that's in a better neighborhood than we're currently in.
Okay.
We'd like to be putting more money into our children's college savings accounts. We want to be able to be looking towards the future and not feel anxious about how are we going to make that work? How are we going to be able to afford that?
Okay,
We
friends, I'm going to pause for 1 second
Okay.
because this is no, but this is why I wanted to start here with really high achieving people. Notice how all of her answers were target driven, more money, better neighborhood. And then there was that feeling of anxiety again. So this is where the lesson
Mm.
pops in. Yeah, no, this is why I'm like, I love talking about this because we're just not taught this, even at high levels of success. If the only feeling that is popping up is one of anxiety, and then knowing how our brain works, knowing how this thing inside of our brain called the reticular activating system works, there's a program and a focus there where a lot of the emotional focus is on anxiety rather than I want to feel comfortable. I want to feel joyful. I want to feel at ease if we use the opposite of anxiety. Is this tracking? So get real close to it, Susie. How do you want to feel in the experience of your life outside of the material goals?
I want to feel peace and I want to feel joy.
Love it. Okay. Sit with that in your body. How does it feel to feel? Actually, no. How does it feel to be at peace? How does it feel to be at joy? Try to put some words to it for us. And you
It
can
feels,
go, mhm.
yeah, it feels calm. It feels
Okay.
still. It feels confident.
Okay. Do you like this?
Yes,
More or less than feeling anxious about your life?
absolutely.
Okay. So we're fast forwarding a little bit, but the reason I'm talking about getting close to the feeling is because that's the fuel. So now, Susie, stay with you. Creating your life from a place of anxiety versus co-creating your life with your husband and your gorgeous family from a place of peace, calm, joy, and happiness. Like, which would you rather choose, and which one do you think is going to get you further?
I think joy is probably well, I don't know. They're all kind of related.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's either all that good stuff or anxiety. Which one?
Right. Not anxiety.
Yeah, not anxiety. Okay.
Anything but anxiety and fear.
Yeah. So this is why this exercise is so important for everybody. Get really close to those emotions and to what you want to create for your life. And then, Susie, one last thing, and I'll let you off the hook, but thank you for jumping
Oh,
on.
it's
I was
fine.
going to
I'm an
say,
open book.
Love it. I think you already know how to do this. If you've been an athlete for your entire life and you're fit and you're strong, like you just know how to do that and that feels good. You're not
Hmm.
beating yourself up. Does that make sense? You're like, oh, so take the joy of doing a muscle up, take the joy of doing a burpee and running up and down your next high rocks competition and layer that into the life that you're building rather than anxiety. Because I promise you, without knowing you more than 2 minutes, that you're not approaching your CrossFit workouts from a place of anxiety. You love it.
No, yeah, exactly. Like that's my comfortable place. I need to
Exactly.
spend less time in the gym and more time at work.
Maybe
That's my
we
struggle.
transfer it over, but you get what I'm saying there. Like
Yeah,
it never
definitely.
feels good to do thousands of burpees and you enjoy
Mhm.
it. Take that
Yeah,
over here. Okay,
because I know the feeling when I'm done.
bingo. That's it. You got it. All right, let's hear another voice or two. What feeling are you chasing? How do you want to experience your life? Because it's not the number at the end of the day.
Come on, brave souls. Unmute. Let's
Hey,
go.
I'll go. I'm trying to figure
What's
out
up,
how to
James
get.
Brown?
Hey,
James,
good
what's up,
morning.
brother?
Hey, Anthony, I'm in Denver too.
Oh, right on, bro.
Yeah, cool. Let's see. I've been doing a lot of work around this, and I'd say like abundance is kind
Okay.
of a good hot word for me. I've got a lot of other ones I wrote down, but
Yeah, let them rip.
oh, I put peace because I do have a lot of anxiety around money and just going so many different directions, trying to accomplish so many things, as
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people on here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Contribution is one that I wrote down. I'm very into collaborating and helping people. I'm definitely in a supporter role when you get into personality types,
Mm-hmm.
from the work I've done through Clemmer. Um, and I'm trying to be a, an expert, like build build my confidence by being just the best expert in real estate specifically.
Okay. All right. James, thank you. And I'm
Yeah.
noticing that Ryan's in Denver too. All right, boys, we got to
Oh
go
yeah.
hang out. So,
Heck yeah.
abundance, less anxiety, start to define these for yourself. And the definition for yourself is going to be like, what does it look like when you wake up? What does it look like as you go about your day? And this is not just for you, but for everybody, because the clearer, and that's why you use that word clarity, the clearer you are on the experience, the results, the highs, the lows of your life, the easier it's going to be to create that for yourself. That's simply how this thing inside of our head works. Second is it's about the feeling. And this is again what most people miss. We set these big goals, or I'll use myself and the Ironman, there's months and months of training and anticipation. And then there's the date of the race, and it happened and it was over. And so you have 6 months of life, of living for 10 hours. Or let's flip it to like, I'm anxious about making the mortgage payment. There's 30 days of anxiety. The first comes, you wake up on the second, and that moment's over, and you're left with life. In other words, life and how we experience it and how we feel is 99.999% of it. And the actual results are a blip. So I would love for you and for all of us, I love that he said contribution. And I think significance is to spend our life there. And when you know what feeling you're chasing, and when you know the deeper meaning behind these targets, then we can feel contribution today. Like you can go out, right? It's the first, just as a side note for the Denver people, they've all been freaking out because we've had the worst winter ever. And I'm from Southern California. I'm like, I love it. But we've had the first real snow today. And contribution can look like selling somebody their first home, but it can also look like going out and shoveling your neighbor's driveway. It's a feeling, it's not a number. Y'all tracking that? And so the closer and closer you get to how you want to feel, your world will open up for ways in which you can do that. And then that gives you the fuel and the energy to actually do the bigger things of your life. But at that point, it doesn't matter because you're waking up and you're loving the experience of your life. You take my kids to school, play with them, get on the phone with awesome people, have great conversations, go ride my bike 1,000,000,000 miles and do handstands, come back and make steak. And I'm like, God, my life is incredible. And then there's either money made that day or not. I'm generalizing, I'm going fast because we don't have a week together. We've got 40 minutes, but you're getting it. Second part of clarity is clarity of mind and clarity of body. Clarity of mind means doing this type of work, spending time being intentional with your life, with your goals, with how you engage, and then also taking care of your body. There's just no way around it. This is actually my favorite quote. In order to be of service, you must be fit for service, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. If I have these big dreams and goals to help every person that I come across step into what's possible for them, then I've got to have the physical energy in this body right here. And this is where I see a lot of people miss it. They have dreams, they have a great heart, they have all of this stuff, and then their body is just not energetically available to do the work that they need. So I'm not saying go do Ironmans, like that's not it. But clarity of mind, clarity of body, clarity of spirit, clarity of how you want to feel, and then that clarity one-on-one, what are we actually going after? The numbers game. Questions on concept number one. And again, I move fast, so raise your hand and tell me to shut up if you need me to. Questions or thoughts on concept number one of clarity? Great. Then we are moving on. Once you know what you want to do, once you know what you're trying to feel like, what you're chasing, then the second gate that I think is really important for us to think about is how we identify in the world. This is one of those hidden, shadowy things that trips a lot of people up. So, Joe, I'm going to call on you on this one.
Please.
Unmute. Okay. If I offered you a cigarette right now, would you take it?
No.
Why? It's handmade. It's been blessed by the Native American people here. It's like the best cigarette you can ever have in your life.
I just don't smoke.
Okay, great. What if there was a version of you who did smoke? Because you've never smoked in your life is the story I have, right?
Yes.
Actually, forget about that for a second. So he just said, I don't smoke. He identifies as somebody who doesn't smoke. And therefore, the temptation of the world's best cigarette meant absolutely nothing. Now, on the other hand, have you enjoyed alcohol before?
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is where growing up together, I got some inside info. Yeah. And then you give it up for Lent, right? Every year. Okay.
Yep.
So you had a hard day at work, kids are driving you absolutely nuts. Just everything went the way it wasn't supposed to. It's Friday and we're right smack dab in the middle of Lent. And I'm like, you want to come into the backyard and have a couple of beers and talk about it? What are you saying then?
I'm still saying no, but that no feels very different if I'm putting myself in that place.
Yeah, it's a lot harder.
It is a lot harder.
Could you maybe in that situation be talked into having a don't mind if I do? Yeah. Okay, so here's the two parallels. Number one, Joe doesn't smoke. He identifies as a non-smoker. It's just easy. Number two, he's still somebody who drinks and who is aspiring in that little time frame to not drink, and it becomes harder.
Yes, because now I'm resisting myself.
Correct.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. This is just the example. And again, here's where like, do this work later, take notes, ask questions, because we have these beautiful goals, people we want to be, things that we want to experience. And some of those are aspirational, and some of those are how we identify. And there's a big chasm between the two. And this is the answer for me as to why so many people do not hit their goals, is because the identification is not there yet. It's more of the example of Joe on Lent fighting to not have the drink. I've always identified as an athlete. I don't know where that came from. I'm 5'10". I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm like this Chicano guy. Like, I'm not gifted in any way. And yet I've done some incredibly cool things as an athlete. It's just how I see myself. So when I'm taking care of my body, when I'm eating, the way that I'm moving, it's coming from that identity. I also see myself as an incredible husband. Like, it's a priority. And so I operate from that place. How do you see yourself as it relates to the goals that you're setting? Are you aligned? Is it your identity, or is it more aspirational? I'm going to give you the flip side. I have always seen myself as a terrible operator. And for a lot of my professional career, I've hired and made sure that I have people around me who can handle operational excellence inside of my businesses. But that was my identity. And then I started to make shifts to change it so that I can take more ownership of it, which is what we'll get to next. But I want to hear from some of you and your voices. Where are your dreams and goals aspirational? And where are they your identity? Because that's going to give you a lot of insight onto you.
This is the off the couch moment. Anyone want to unmute?
I just put in the chat that I just finished the book by Dr. Benjamin Hardy, Be Your Future Self Now. It's talking about what you're talking about here. It's like visualizing it, and you're dead on. Like your identity, how you see yourself, is super key.
It's actually, yeah, it's everything. So I'm going to give you a funny story. Here's the line that I love to use around this is, how you see it is how you'll experience it. Okay, this kind of captures this. I see myself as an athlete. I act and move and walk like one. I've been married 14 years, a long time. And there's times in the relationships where you're like, oh my God, it's incredible, everything's awesome. And there's times where it's not. Like, it's just two human beings figuring it out together. And I remember a bunch of years ago, there was this like 2 to 3 week moment where I was just annoyed by everything. And I was looking for everything that was not right with my wife. And that was causing me to have a different experience of the relationship. Annoyed at where she put the shoes, at this, at that. And I'm just like walking around like mad. She had no idea. This is all internal. And then I remember this from, I don't know if it was, it just came back. I'm like, oh, I'm looking for everything that's wrong. I'm identifying as this. And so I just chose to look for everything that was beautiful and right and amazing. And within like 10 seconds, she became the most incredible woman on the planet. And I'm all extra in love and I'm like so grateful. And she's just still walking around doing exactly what she's doing. Like nothing changed except how I identified and what I was looking for. And so that's why taking some time and honestly answering these questions and finding where they align and where they don't align with your goals is so important, because you can want to have X amount of transactions. And then if you're only looking for why everything is not going to work, that's going to be the experience you create for yourself. One of my favorite stories out of the retreat that we lead was a year ago. It's like a new favorite. Joe got so mad when I told him this. So a year ago, how was the industry doing? Amazing? Or were you all getting your butts kicked a little bit?
Definitely more the latter.
Okay, more the latter.
Yep.
So we had a participant who was like, I'm going to be a real estate agent. And everyone's like, why? This is the worst industry to go into right now. What are you doing? And we did this work. So in the Abundant Living Retreat that I co-facilitate, we do a lot of this work. And we're talking about identity and how you see it, how you experience it. Anyway, so she had passed her test. She was like ready to go. Her plan was to start after the retreat. So we have our 3 days. She comes home, and within 60 days, so it's April of last year, she had 8 deals done, and then another 8 over the next 90, right out of the gate, simply because that's what she believed. And she identified as somebody who's going to produce. She identified as a winner, and she just wasn't interested in anything else that people had to say. And if that is confrontational to some of you, sit with it. If you're like, hell yeah, girl, good. Point is, how you see the thing is how you will experience it. From your body to your relationship to your business to the adherence that you have to your dreams and goals. So this is why, Susie, I was highlighting you at that moment where I'm saying, all right, let's get off of the word anxious and give you something else to lock into so that you can move your life and your dreams and your goals in that direction. Joy, or like James said, contribution, fulfillment, significance, happiness. Questions or thoughts on this concept, team? And I would love to hear some new voices.
I'm an old voice, but I definitely get what you're saying. And something also caught my attention, what you said a couple minutes ago. I take my children to see the counselor at their pediatrician's office. They've had some bullying issues in the past in their elementary school. And one of the main things their counselor talks to them about is how to think, like what you should do to think of your future self. So how to set your future self up for success. We talk about, laying out our clothes for school the next day. Are you setting your future self up for success, or are you setting your future self up for failure? Are you going to be looking for that sock? If you have to wear that certain pair of socks, are you looking for that sock? And is that going to make us late for school? We need to think about our future self in our friendships, in our relationships, and in how we treat ourselves.
So love it. It's the perfect segue. Thank you. It's exactly like the exercise of this. This is where practices like your morning routine and meditation and visualization really come into play. I was a 10-year failed meditator until I subscribed to what Susie was saying and started to set myself up for success and put the cushion out and wake up a little bit early and have my candle, like have it all set the way I needed to so that my environment was supportive of it. And then I'm going to tack on to what James said again, like making the decision to identify as that person right here and right now, because there's nothing stopping you, is the launch point. I am. There's an exercise that we do, and it's called Be Do Have. And most people have it the wrong way. And here's like where it hits, the rubber hits the road. If I only had enough money, then I would have more time to like do really cool things with my kids. Then I would be a good dad. And what we're talking about is the flip side. Make a decision from where you are. I'm going to be a good dad right here and right now. And that means I'm going to do good things with my kids. I'm going to go in the backyard and play catch with Jackson Kobe. That's my littlest one. I'm going to be a good dad. So I'm going to play Barbies with my daughter Sage. And then I will have a great relationship with my children. So making that decision and identification is the launch point. I am going to forget that I am an incredible producer. I am an attractor of all agents, to use the lingo. I am. That's a decision in the right here and right now. And then again, the contribution, I'm a contributor. Great. And I have this dream to contribute. I was listening to Tony Robbins and Alex Ramosi the other day. in Tony Robbins, or Alex Hormozy wants to build $1 billion of $100,000 earners for like men in his age group. And I was like, that's awesome. That's a great contribution. And then if he showed somebody how to 2x their 10,000 to 20,000, that's still contribution. Or snowing, moving out the driveway, moving the snow out of the driveway. You get it. Be and then do, and then have this, all that same setting yourself up for success. Questions or thoughts, my friends?
That was a good
Observations.
interview. I like that one with Hormozy and Tony Robbins.
I loved it. It's the first time I've seen Hormozy get like humble in a sweet way.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. Any other voices or thoughts or pushback? I would love to hear other people engage in the growth path of their own life.
I'll chime in.
I'm going to share. Oh, yeah. Let's do it, Ryan. Let's go, man.
I was just kind of writing down the I am things, which kind of played off of what we talked about at the beginning. For me, the biggest one that stands out is disciplined. I know all the right activities to do. I know all the things I need to accomplish in order to achieve the things I want in life. And it's simple things and it's the difficult things. And I think for me, discipline is the one that really stands out, that if I could conquer my discipline, my world would change.
Okay. Oh man, I love it when we get some hot seat. All right. I don't know you, we've never met, and I absolutely know that you're disciplined. Do you brush your teeth every morning?
Oh yeah, twice a day.
Fantastic. You're disciplined. Does somebody need to tell you? Does your mom call you every morning and remind you the way I do with my kids right now, or do you just do it?
Yeah, just do it. And you're right, I'm disciplined in certain things.
Okay, bingo. That's the unlock. So first, acknowledging that you have the capacity and you are disciplined in certain things gives you, actually, I'm going to say this, there's a little bit of a victim mentality when we, not just you, group everything into the I'm not. It's like, there's a lie there. I'm actually really good at X, Y, and Z, but it's these 2 or 3 things that I completely shit the bed at. So understand, A, you are disciplined, you have the capacity, you have it in you. Now, the real question is, what's the difference? So we'll do a little bit more digging. What are some other areas of your life that you're really good at? You're disciplined. You just do them and it doesn't matter.
Attending these calls,
right? So you show up.
Yep, I'm disciplined with my transactions, probably because it just comes easy. I don't hesitate making a call to a listing agent who I'm doing a deal with, but I might hesitate making a call to a realtor who I'm trying to attract to the company.
Do you enjoy the process of real estate? Do you enjoy the transactions? Do you enjoy these meetings? Do you enjoy brushing your teeth?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. This is the difference, friends. It's state. It's not about discipline. It's about your level of connection, commitment, connection, significance, contribution. It's how you feel about the thing. You feel good about working with the person on the other side. You don't feel, actually, how do you feel when you think about calling to recruit the new agent?
I feel that they're going to think about me in a certain light, that I would prefer to not be, a salesman per se. There's a lot of EXP agents out there that are just, not very pleasant with their attraction methods, and I don't want to be that.
Okay. You get to not, okay, so let me not get ahead of myself. There's a hesitation in what he said. There's some fear. There's some not wanting to be judged. All of those, I would say, are like lower vibrating emotions rather than excitement, optimism, joy. Like, Brian, dude, thank you for answering. I've got this awesome, incredible opportunity inside of our space. I'd love to talk to you about it. Let me buy you a coffee, or let's go to work. Let's go to CrossFit. Like, are you down? The energy behind it is different. There's a fear. In that case, if you're like, no, EXP is a freaking racket, I don't want to do that weird MLM real estate thing. No worries, dude. Let's still go to the class. Like, it just doesn't matter. There's an energy difference. You get what I'm saying?
Well, absolutely.
Okay, so it's not a discipline problem. It's an energy connection why problem. Do that work. Now, this does lead us into the next little bucket in identity versus aspirational, and it's that big, big buzzword, authenticity. And there's not a lot of training on this one today because we have 11 minutes to go. It's that give yourself permission to unapologetically be who you are. So I'm going to use the example that you brought up, and Joe and I have talked about this, where there are some other agents who are attracting people in ways that are absolutely repelling to you. Yeah?
Yeah.
We've seen it.
Yeah.
Some of them
I'm
are
sure
kind of
you're
shady.
hearing a lot of my stories and what Ryan shared.
100%.
That's why I'm over here like jumping out of my seat. Sorry.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
And you're repelled by them for two reasons. A, it's because you don't like it. They're doing it in a way that you would not do it, that is not authentic to you. And so they're giving you feedback on where you're not being yourself. B, another reason you don't like it is because they are doing it the way that you know you could do it. Like, man, I wish I had the courage to just get on social and just throw down and say whatever I want to say. And I'm stuck here. So either way, for me, it's an authenticity thing. So identity is about authenticity. Have the courage to just be who you are and to speak to your people. That is the most attractive thing. Like, I know in my business, after so many years, I lead 3 international retreats a year. We go do yoga in the most fun places and lead these seminars. I do all these things. And it's the same, let's call it, archetype of human who shows up to do this work. Like, I know who I am and what I bring to the table. And on the flip side is I also know that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. When I call somebody to the carpet, I'm like, cool, let's get off the couch and go. And then they jump off the Zoom as soon as I ask people to raise their hands, which has happened every single time that has happened in this call today, because I'm paying attention. I'm like, yeah, that's just not, we're just not going to dance together. And that's okay. Go find your person. Go find your real estate company. Go find whatever it is that you're going to do. I'm okay being me. And that is the most attractive thing that you can do for anybody. Let's just put it into romantic relationships for a second. This is why people who begin as friends and who develop friendships first typically have a better chance at a longer romantic relationship, because it's authentic first. It's not fake. It's not salesy, as you said, Ryan. It's just like, this is who I am. Let's hang out, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, 2 months later, you end up having a crush on each other. It's a different intention. It's authentic and it's real. So give yourself permission to be who you are. Susie, if you're the CrossFit attractor, great. You and your husband go do that. Like, if I'm the yoga version of it, great. The yoga ultra endurance grandpa version, great. Give yourself permission to be who you are, fully, wholly, and authentically. And I know that is a whole nother call, but are there any questions on that last bit of the second hit stop, or the
I will
second gate?
say, I'll say that when you like fully allow yourself the permission to be who you are, regardless of who you may pick up along the way or who may not want, like you said, I liked your metaphor, who may not want to dance with you. And that's okay. When you realize that, there is a very beautiful level of freedom that comes with it.
Amen. It is the most freeing thing. It is so freeing. And again, now you're catching where it's circling back. I want to be free. I want to be happy. I want to enjoy my time, my limited time on this planet. Oh my God, I want to have a blast. I want to have a blast, and I want my family to have a blast, and I want to make a whole bunch of money and do a whole bunch of really cool things. And then one day I'll die. Like, that's the game. I don't want to sit here and be miserable and be mad and be judgy and then die with a whole bunch of money. That's not fun. Okay. I had a thought. and then it left me. So we're going to go to the next one. Concept number 3. This is a big one. Personal story. I got my very first tattoo at 46 years old. And it's right on my hand and it says practice. I believe in practice over theory. I believe that experience matters most. Too many people spend too much time in the theory and the prep and the Excel and the studying and the podcast and the AI, and then nothing replaces the picking up the phone, the knocking on the door, the getting your hands dirty. That's just it. You can't. My pandemic pickup was smoking meat, probably like every other 40-year-old dude at the time. So like out in the backyard with the trigger, doing all that stuff. Yes, I watched the YouTube videos. And then, I just messed up a lot of really good chunks of meat, but there was practice and refinement and reps. It's been said that repetition is the mother of all mastery. I would add that repetition with joy and with high state is actually the mother of all mastery. And there's some data to back it up. Here's a really cool book on my desk right now. The Art of Impossible by Stephen Kotler. It is a book on flow state. And he talks about the 10,000 hour rule. And yeah, Susie, that's it. 10,000 hours of practice has originally been thought to get you to mastery level reps. And what he dispels in here through the X Games, through what are they called? Extreme, the snowboarders jumping all over the place, is that when reps are taken with extreme amounts of joy and pleasure and love, 10,000 hours becomes 2,000 hours. And think about it with little ones. Think about it with children. Think about anytime you're excited about something, the learning curve goes up. When you're not excited, yeah, it's going to take your ass a long time. But when you're fired up about it, it goes up. So again, I'm like, here we go. What feeling are you chasing? But even when you're excited about it, and this is where the yoga line and the performance coach of me cross. You can't just feel good and meditate and take your notes and burn your sage, do all your stuff. Like you've got to hit the road. You've got to take some reps. Practice and all is coming is a really old yoga saying. Mastery comes from reps with a high state. So nothing will replace that. And Joe, this is where I love the story of you and being so committed to your practices, to your routines. This is where some of the Instagram gurus and influencers are really getting it right. Like build your day out, get repetition, build a routine. I wake up every single morning, I meditate for 20 minutes. I make my coffee. I'm a coffee snob. I have every type of way you can make it. I hand grind the beans. It's a ritual for me. And I do my pour over and I sit and I drink it and I do my gratitude and I think about my day and I visualize. And this whole thing is only like a 40-minute process. And then I go about my day. But that primes me mentally and emotionally to go do the things. It's not necessarily about doing the hard things. Yes, I have a sauna in my backyard. Yes, I have a cold plunge. And the last time I did a talk with Joey, Joseph, it was a whole conversation about strengthening your willpower through doing the hard things, which I'm a huge believer of. And there's something to be said about just doing the thing that's hard rather than jumping in a cold ass tub of water every morning. Like just do the thing that you're trying to prep for. So build the routines that help you get there. And then we layer those things on. So it's practice to build for the reps that matter, not practice for practice sake.
Anthony, I'm going to add to that if I may really quickly.
Please.
So a
How
lot
much
of the
time do we
work for
have?
me, 2 minutes, but I'll be very quick. So I've, in my experience in my career, I've relied a lot on talent and luck and relationships. And then I realized that they weren't lucky. They were relationships. But I was not one who built a lot of business by grinding things out, like making calls on a consistent basis and all, but I want to. And there was a lot of turmoil, a lot of stories, a lot of work there. And one of the things that I got stuck on was Well, I don't do the calls until I feel good about it, until I've done all. And that's where Anthony helped me to just say, okay, that's cute. Get on the phone, man, and just do the work. And what's interesting is in doing the work, the thing I was resisting, two things happened. One, just with the consistency, the story started to fall away. And then number two, we got to layer on the additional state on top of it. That's where the magic happened. And that's what he meant by the
Mm-hmm.
parallel coming together.
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't about me, you know, and in some cases it was, but it wasn't about me like doing all these things to prep me, but then not doing it. That's not going to move the ball forward. It was having to still do the work. Even if I didn't love it, even if it sucked, you still have to go to the gym the first time and it's going to be freaking sore. And then you have to go the
Mm-hmm.
second and third time days later and it's going to suck. It's when you continue to do it, then you get to really layer on all the additional work. And that's when the state learning curve, a lot of beautiful things happen from there.
Yep. Yep. That's that's it. It's the combination of both. I can show up and be very David Goggins and tell you all I don't care about your feelings, pick up the phone and dial. And there's some merit in that. I can also go full yoga side and be like, let's meditate together, or let's write our intentions, let's pretend we're in the secret, and then people will just call you and deals will get done. And I think the better way is in the middle, and what we're talking about, it's both. It's both. And actually it is, and this is why I called it elite performance. Um, yeah, the last 50-mile race I ran, I actually won, and it was because I put these two things together. There's natural raw talent, and one of my really good friends who is a Boston qualified, or she's ran Boston a bunch. Uh, I just did not want to lose to her. And so I followed a training plan instead of just raw dogging it and going off of intention and state and, playing yoga, and actually won the race. And I was like, oh, where talent meets effort, practice, and rep, you do get mastery. It's the next level. Okay, last thought here, since I think we're out of time, and it's simply to create a space and a time to do all of this. So if this is the primer, great. Spend some time this weekend answering the questions for yourself, having the conversations. Get into a retreat. Our next one is coming up. It's at the end of April. It's April 21st through 25th. I'll have Joe send all of the details.
Mm-hmm.
Sticker price is $4,200. I have tickets for $2,500 because we're on this meeting. So as long as you come from here, I will honor that. But when I say create a space, it's call a timeout on your life and do this work for an hour on a Friday, for a weekend, once a year at a retreat. You 10x your results when you actually give yourself the time and the space to digest and to sit with and to create. It doesn't happen in 60-minute intervals. You know that. It's very much like if we go back to the fitness world, abs are made in the kitchen. The physical effort required for muscle hypertrophy is, that hour workout. But then consistency with how you take care of your body and what you put into it will give your body composition change over time. You can't just have one salad and wake up with a six-pack, as an example. Same thing with your dreams and with your goals and with your practices. So give yourself a time and a space that is dedicated to working on you. Fill the cup so that you can go out there and absolutely live the life of your dreams. Because again, I'll say it, I said it earlier, why not? If this is our one life and it's not the practice version, why would we give anything less than our best? Just not about that. All right, I love you all. I am easiest place to stay connected to me is social media. It's Anthony Chavez Yoga. Anthony Chavez Yoga on Instagram. Shoot me a DM. Let me know it's you. I could say hello. And then Joe, is there a recap email where we can put all of my information in there?
Absolutely, Larry. We'll shoot it out to everybody. That's super easy. I'll take care of that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So take a look at the Abundant Living Retreat. It's coming up soon. If you want to join, I will get you the half off link and we can talk about how it works. If you want to stay connected, follow me there. And then let's go win, friends. 2026. Here we go.
Love it.
Joe, back
Anthony,
to you.
Thank you,
I
Anthony.
appreciate. Yeah, yeah. Feel free, Susie. Anything you want to share? Go ahead, guys.
Nope, just thank you for the call. Great thoughts.
Yep, absolutely. And
Really
My
look,
helpful.
like
pleasure.
at the end of the day, like there is, I think all of us can resonate with this feeling because I've had it many times and it still comes up and I've learned to love it because before it would haunt me. And that feeling deep down is like, I know there's more to me. I know there's something greater. I know that I can do more. I know that I was meant for better. That used to haunt me because I had no idea what it meant, what it looked like, how to get there. Being with Anthony, learning from the abundant living helped me to not only understand it, learn how to tap into it, learn how to absolutely like move my life forward because of
Hmm.
it, and then love the fact that it's still there because it's like this journey is amazing.
Yeah.
So
I love that you are a graduate in your life, in your success. You're a testament, which is great.
I appreciate that. And then I feel like I'm a young Padawan at the same time. And again, that's a really awesome feeling. Like I've learned to really love that. So with that, I want to thank all of you guys for allowing Anthony and I to come and be on this space with you guys. Next week, Larry will be back. So show up with a whole bunch of stories. And with that, we'll make sure to get you all the contact information just to connect with Anthony, as well as anyone who is ready to really dive into themselves. And just know this retreat, the best way to describe it, it's an invitation to you. So with
Hmm.
that, have a great week. Come back with tons of wins. Anthony, thank you for everything, my man.
You got it. Love
Have a
y'all.
good one, guys.
Peace.